Hey guys, how's it going? So in our last episode, I said goodbye to Palermo, and today we need to find ourselves a new job. As I mentioned previously, we are trying to get to a top tier team. In other words, a team that's hopefully competing in a European competition or its respective continental counterpart, such as the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, Man Cities, Liverpool, and so on. We also saw that Diego Simeone at Man City's job was insecure, and after the season ended, well, he got the sack for one, and so I applied to the Man City job as well as the Real Madrid job. Unfortunately, I didn't get an interview for either job. Man City making a claim that I do not include set pieces as a part of my, I guess, priorities as when managing a team. Real Madrid said the same. However, Real Madrid did say that one point in my favor was the fact that I had a very good ability to sign high-profile players. But I didn't make the shortlist either. So, lo and behold, the team that actually offered me a job just after the 1st of July was none other than Man United. Yep, as a Liverpool fan, it pains me to see this, but they were the only club that actually offered me a job that is in Champions League this season. As Liverpool last season, they did come third, but the manager's still there, so unfortunately, not much I can do about that one. Jurgen Klopp, man for the job. In terms of objectives, United expect me to challenge for the Premier Division, to challenge for the FA Cup, to be competitive in the Carabao Cup, to be competitive in the Community Shield, and to also reach the latter stages of the UEFA Champions League, which is gonna be interesting to see who I get in the qualifiers and the group stages. So, with that said, let's now look at the squad, see what I have, what I don't have. In terms of recognizable players, I've ranked them by ability. We've got Garnacho, still there, he's 26 now, and we are in 2030. So what are we, like 6 years ahead? We still have Mason Mount at 31. We've got Marcus Rashford at 32. But what's this? He is slightly feeling it is time to move on to a new challenge. Okay, so I might have to sell Rashford and move him on. I mean, he's worth about 50 odd million. And Rasmus Højlund, he's got a bid already of 87 million from Bayern. Okay, I really like this player, to be honest. But I mean, he's already accepted the bid. I do not want to have an unhappy player in my squad. So hopefully I can get some good money out of that. Got Anthony here. Lisandro Martinez still there. That's good. That's good. Solid player. What else? What else? We've got Onana. Goal. He's the first choice keeper. And I can't about... We've got Jadon Sancho, who... What's this? Feels it's time to move on as well. So that's another guy I need to, offload. So other than that, really... Not a lot. I mean, we've got a couple of, obviously, players that I don't recognize. They look like regens to me. Carlos Diogo, same. Another region, but he is worth a lot of money. Javi Guerra. See, where was he from in terms of his career? From Valencia. Okay. From Valencia. We got David Van den Berg, another region. Robert Renan. Hasn't got a photo. Let's see where he's from. Zenit. So yeah, now I think I've got to sort out my staff. Got to sort out a couple of signings. Looking at the squad planner, you can see here that my weakest point at the moment is my defense. So I need to get a couple of center backs in, maybe even a left back, possibly another anchorman. And subject to how many players we lose up front, maybe I'll have to bring in a reinforcement. In terms of transfers, we do have a 65.5, just over 65.5 million. Wage budget is in the minus, but hopefully we get rid of Rashford, Sancho, and obviously Højlund does indeed leave. Then we can sort of maybe get something out of that, hopefully. So yeah, be right back, and hopefully I'll have signed a few players before our first game of the season. I'll probably pass through the friendlies, and we'll see what happens then. Right, so we have arrived at our first game of the season, which is the English Community Shield versus Chelsea. And in terms of transfers, before I signed for the club, they did sign Stefan Bajetic for 45.5 million, who does seem to be have fairly decent stats, to be honest. Fairly decent stats for an anchorman. Moving on, we signed Nicolas Gonzalez on a free as well, who can play as a winger that can play on both sides. I reckon he'll be able to come off the bench and help. And he came from Bayern. We also signed Elise Ben Zaire from Monaco on a free. Seems to be a very highly rated player. Very decent stats, to be honest, especially for a Mazzala. And the only signing that I've actually had an influence on so far is Piero Hincapié, which is a left back who can also play centre back. So I'm hopeful that he will cover that left back position and let Lisandro Martinez play into that centre back role. Or maybe even anchorman potentially. In terms of transfers, I am awaiting for Kim Min-jae from Bayern, who I bidded about 20 million for him. He is very free, but he's a very well-established centre-back who definitely should raise the game at the back. And last but not least, we did find this player called Morgan Edwards, which I think is a regen character. And he can play centre-mid and centre-back. So I thought, 22, definitely has potential to be a star. And, you know, he can provide good cover everywhere he goes. So I'm just waiting on that. But I'm afraid that obviously before the Chelsea game I won't be able to sign them, so we'll have to do without them. And now, without further ado, let's go to our first game of the season versus Chelsea. Let this be known that it'll be the only time I'll ever be rooting United. So for those of you that know me, you can save this clip for one day. Come on, United! Come on! Gotta take down Chelsea, come on. Get my first trophy. First piece of silverware. Quite a long ball to Diogo, but can't make much of it. Chilwell on it to Perisic, onto Enzo. On to Gallagher, who gives it to Frimpong. And, oh, Chelsea makes it 1-0. Not the start I had in mind. We haven't had a shot yet, which is a bit worrying. Again, he's on. Is he onside? He appears to be onside. Yep. We have a lot of work to salvage something from this. Okay, we got a Garnacho on the ball. On to Zratovic. Oh, makes it. 2-1. No, wait. Could it be offside? Yeah, I was about to check it. Yes, goal awarded. Our first chance resulted in the first goal. Now, can Diogo make something of it? On to Javi, to Vandenberg. And Vandenberg, oh, gets a save out of Sanchez. Into the corner. Chelsea on the ball. Frimpong, who has had a very good game. Gives it to Gallagher, who makes it 3-1. And that might be the end of the game. Not the start I wanted. Gonna have a bit of work to do, I think, in the training ground. The whistle should be blown soon. There we go. And that's it, I'm afraid. Who wants to see this, right? I'm sorry, well done. Well, there you have my first game of the season. Not great. Gonna need some work. I might need to look at the formation that I'm playing. It did feel like I didn't have a lot of the ball. And obviously the attackers weren't able to actually have much of a chance. Obviously I'm also getting a couple of signings coming in. Defensive signings. So hopefully they do help ease the burden. So yeah, until then, take care guys.